So are you ready to PR yourself? We'll remove the mystery from all things PR, and we'll discuss everything from our top strategies to tips and tricks and everything that you can utilize to further enhance your brand or your message. I've been in media, I'm a journalist, and I'm also a publicist. I am Leah Frazier, CEO of Think3 Media, and your host for PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. I must say, you guys made season 1 a hit, and it made me so happy to hear from so many of you guys via email, direct message on how you're going to PR yourself better, especially as we move into 2021. So thank you so much for all the kind words, and for all of you guys that are leaning in and putting in the work. This podcast is for you. So for those of you who are looking for a little bit extra oomph for your businesses and for your brands, I have something for you. Be sure to always visit pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com. Make sure you're signed up for our email list where I send out episode recaps. I'm going to send out when I'm doing webinars, when I'm going to be live. I'm going to send out when we're offering our next live course. So be sure to sign up for that email list, pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com, and never miss an update. That way you can PR yourself better and just do bigger and better things as we move into 2021. Also, exciting news. My book, PR Yourself, will be coming in 2021. So be sure to go to pryourselfbook.com and sign up again for that email list. You're not going to want to miss when pre-sales drop. You're going to want to be the first to get this book in your hand. And I'm not kidding you guys. I was on the phone yesterday with an organization that's going to have me do a workshop in June, and they have already pre-ordered 50 copies. The manuscript is not even turned in yet, and they have pre-ordered their 50, and you're going to want to get yours too. So pryourselfbook.com. And lastly, if you're like, Leah, you know what? I need that hands-on training with you every single month, whether it's marketing, whether it's PR. Hey guys, I have something super affordable for you. You're going to want to go to think3media.com/think3edu, and you're going to sign up for our subscription service. It's only $49 a month, you guys. And what you get is one live, you heard it right, one live session with me on a marketing or hot PR topic of the month. And then you're also going to get a mastermind session with other business and brands that are just like you, where maybe you're stuck on an issue. What we do when we mastermind together, we help you to get unstuck so that for those next 30 days before you go into the next month where we do another session, you can work on that item and take your business or your brand from one level to the next. That's what it's there for. So go to think3media.com/think3edu and sign up for our subscription service. That way you're always learning on how to market yourself better and how to PR yourself better as we move into 2021. And without further ado, enjoy this latest episode and stay tuned. All right, and welcome back to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. It's getting a little hot in here.
Very much so.
Ooh, I've got two really hot fellas in here. And if you're a guy listening, I'm so sorry. But hey, today I'm so excited because I have Willie Johnson of J3 Productions returning to the show. Hi, Willie.
Hey, how's it going?
Just peachy. And then I have the man, Jimmy Berkeley.
Man,
Pro football player, like music guru, helps develop artists. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm real good. How you doing?
Or like Charlemagne would say, blessed, black, and highly favored.
Highly favored. Yeah,
absolutely.
Already.
Well, welcome y'all to the show. I'm so excited because I want to spend today's PR Yourself episode really talking about just development overall. Like, you don't really have to be, in Willie's case, a model, or Jimmy works a lot with music artists and the development of music artists. But I think some of the key concepts that you guys use are things that businesses and brands and people with personal brands can use kind of in their everyday to develop their brand so that it's more PRable. And that's not a word. I just made that up.
That's a word.
I like that made up word.
You like that? I'm going to make my own dictionary and then sell it.
Yeah.
The Book of Leah.
The Book of Leah. I like that. Don't take that. I will find you. I will sue you. Okay. So I want to start with
win.
you. And I will win.
And win.
We know that.
We know that. See, they're very careful with their words right now. So I'm going to start with you, Willie. You work with models, influencers. You're my manager.
Yes.
So I make his job really easy. Tell me a little bit about, you receive a lot of messages from folks that want you to take them from A to Z, like from hot mess to just extraordinary express, right? Mm-hmm. What are some of the issues that you're seeing from like a public image perspective where people just aren't coming with their shit together?
Oh, I could go all day on that. One of the things that I'm seeing when I do get people that hit me up for potential representation is a lot of it is their mindset. A lot of them feel like they've already arrived and you just need to put them out there and they're going to be millionaires today. So that is the
I gotta get off
biggest
the
thing
mic
I
on
see.
this one.
That is the biggest thing I see.
Oh,
Everyone thinks that the business is owed to them. Nowadays, everyone has a sense of entitlement when they get into the industry as opposed to what can we do together. It's never what can we do together. It's, hey, I need you to do this for me. I need auditions. I need this. And I'm like, well, first of all, boo, get some headshots.
That sounds like me when people come and it's like, you haven't had an ounce of local press. Not one.
Yes.
But I need to be on the cover of Essence. Can you do that? And what are your contacts like nationally with Black Enterprise and Jet? And I'm like, they don't even make Jet anymore.
Right.
I was like, I can't put you as the beauty of the week. So,
You
what
might.
Absolutely. No, you can't do that.
But okay, so they come entitled, and I personally think, and Jimmy, Willie, y'all can weigh in, I really think social media has a lot to do with this persona of you believe in your own hype.
That is absolutely correct. Social media is an amazing tool, but it has ruined the value of the business, and it has taken people's passions because everyone is looking for instant gratification. I can see a model and say, okay, you're great, but you'll be good for acting. Well, my 275,000 followers told me that I was high fashion, and I'm like, well, none of them are managing you.
Yeah.
So you have to be realistic with your goals, and sometimes we get so caught up on the hype of the likes and the hashtags that we don't see that it is a work side in the business, and that's what messes up everybody. And I'm sure you experienced that in music as well.
Yeah, I was trying not to cut you off.
He cuts me off all the time.
I have to. My mind is running. But I mean, speaking on social media, like I think the major part about social media is that we have to remember that it is not your whole truth.
Absolutely.
It's only what you're deciding to give away that is going to influence somebody the way you're trying to. You're creating the narrative for them to pay attention to you.
Absolutely.
But for how long? Like, what are you trying to do? What is the goal? Like you said. So, I mean, you can create whoever you want to be by just, following what they're telling you who you are. But if you don't have that mindset to have a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset of not listening to people telling you what a vision for you could be, then you have no vision at all.
Absolutely.
There's no way I would come to a Willie or a Jimmy and not do what the hell I'm supposed to do to get hired because I'm believing my own hype that maybe I have a blue check by my name.
Yeah.
Or I'm believing my own hype. Oh, Willie, did I hit a nerve?
That blue check.
That check,
oh
though.
My God.
That you probably paid for, but we're not even going to go there.
I've even asked people, I just found out from one of my other models I manage what a blue check was. And I'll ask people, so what does blue check mean? They say,
you.
For you. Like, well, it means your account is verified. And I say, so what does that mean? Your account is verified. And they've literally just said several times, it means your account is verified. What does that do
It
for
almost
you?
gives them that instant celebrity status when
Yes.
nobody knows you outside of Dallas. Let's just be honest.
Absolutely.
And when I Google you, all of your shit's a hot mess. You don't
Absolutely.
have a website. You don't have a
Yeah.
landing page. All of your social media accounts, your branding is way off. I would never be your publicist. Let's just put that out there. But on the blue check note, I don't know if anybody knows this, so I'll just drop a little bit of knowledge. A lot of people pay for blue checks. Now, you're not supposed to because that's kind of against Facebook violations, but there are people out there that will charge you an astronomical amount. I had an athlete client that was just adamant, Lee, I want the blue check. Lee, I want the blue check. So I went to the agency that does the verifications, and they were charging $7,000 for personal brand accounts. Okay, and that's with you coming with national mentions. So they want you to be mentioned in all of the major publications, Forbes, Business Insider, like Yahoo, all the major national publications, okay? in addition to that blue check, you need to have a Wikipedia page.
You have to.
Okay, you have to. So there's all these things that you have to have on a publicity standpoint in order to even be considered. And then they were charging $7,000 for a personal account. If you had a business brand, so if you were like a store, they were charging $30,000. For what? For other people to tell you that you're hot?
Yeah.
Like what is the mental, like what has society done? Do you know what I could do with 7 Gs?
It's the narrative. I told you.
30 Gs. And they're clearly paying it because this agency is out there booking clients
It
with
ain't
this.
tricking if you got it.
And the thing is,
Lord.
Or it is.
It is.
when it comes to the blue check phenomenon,
Yeah.
I do respect it in business. I just don't worship it. And once you get those two down, then it makes it a little more successful. Like, I do know the blue check, and it's good because it does lift eyebrows. I use it as leverage when I'm pitching a client to a brand. Hey, I have a client who has this many blue check clients, who does this, who does that. But I'm not going to worship you, as opposed to, like, I'm not going to call you by the blue check name. When people come in the room and say, oh, that's a blue check, I'm like, that is not on their birth certificate.
Right.
So what is their name?
No
Who
blue
are
check.
you? Does that blue check keep you from wearing a mask in public?
For some.
Negative.
For some.
What has it done for you? So that's how I look at stuff like that.
So Jimmy, like,
That's
from
privilege.
some of the artists that you deal with, clearly most of them probably do not have blue checks as of yet.
I wanted to call them out on that. I'm not going to do
I mean,
it.
you can. Just make sure you tag the podcast. They can come on and defend themselves.
Make sure to tag Cross Country Black.
Who's fantastic. I just
Yeah.
downloaded his album today. So
Hey,
congrats
Pick
to
that
him.
album up.
Cross Country Black.
Black to the Future.
Black to the
That's what it's
future.
called.
But as far as what do they need to be doing? And this is not just for artists. This is not just for models. This is just personal brands, period. Like, what else should you be doing to make sure that you're prepared for any type of, maybe not even instant success. Maybe it's earned success. What other things should you be doing? Obviously, social media needs to be on point. Image needs to be on point.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to, like I said, I keep going back to narrative, apparently. It makes sense to me because you're telling the story. So you need to tell that. You need a bio. You need to reach people that you grew up with.
Can
that
we just
people
press
that,
pause? I know you interrupt me all the time. I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this bio, though?
Mm.
Some of y'all, and I know it's going to hurt your feelings, but I'm just going to put it out there. You can't write. God blessed us with so many talents. And Willie's laughing because he knows I'm the writer out of the group, okay? God has blessed you with a talent to rap. God blessed you with a talent to just run. Whether that's track, football, rugby, whatever.
Do what
Jimmy
you do.
can run. See Jimmy run. Okay? Willie, God has blessed you with an incredible knack for style, dealing with my personality,
Yes.
and all of the above. Spotting someone on the street who looks a mess and then making them into a success. That is your gift.
Mm-hmm.
But if you cannot write, you need to hire somebody that writes an incredible bio for you. So many times I'm trying to submit things, and Kara just said this when she was in here earlier, when we need headshots, we need your bio. But yet you want to talk about a blue check and being in Rolling Stones and Essence. And I'm sorry, you don't even have a short or long bio because you need both.
Yeah.
And a good EPK.
And a
Real
good
quick.
EP. What's an EPK, Willie?
Electronic press kit.
Press kit.
And who does those?
That is what they are. And the Leah Frazier does
Think 3
electronic press
Media.
kits.
We do
Yes.
electronic press kits. So what else? I'm sorry.
I just
had
know
to
how
hit
to,
on. I
so.
had to do.
Somebody said, Crave magazine, William Young was like, I'll take a Chase check over a blue check any day.
Hey,
Thank you.
that's verified.
Thank you, William from Crave magazine.
William from Crave Magazine. He already knows. And really, honestly, Will, since you're weighing in, I think Crave Magazine should have a blue check with as many models and actors that you've had on the cover of that magazine. I've had the pleasure of interviewing Amari Hardwick on behalf of Crave. So, like, I mean, you should have the blue check. It's all good, though.
Yep.
All right, so you said bio. I'm sorry. That just struck a nerve.
I mean, that's fine. But, I mean, also, like, shout out to Greg. I am a ghostwriter. I don't really write my own music anymore. It's been quite a while since I've just sat down and said, here's my notebook. let me do this. But also my vision and other people's vision that, have kind of led me certain directions. They told me, this is what you're good at. So you need to do what you're good at to get where you're going.
Pretty much stay in your own lane.
Yeah, stay in your lane. If you can sing but you can't write, you need help. It's okay to get help.
But at the end of the day, I feel like making sure that you have the right team around you to know that I'm going to focus
tell you.
on my personal brand, right? So I'm going to just be the publicist for, personal brands and businesses. Willie's with models. Jimmy does more music artists, right?
Yeah.
Focus on your craft. But you have to build a team of everybody else around you that makes sure that your brand paints 100% of the picture.
The actual picture.
You're going to need a copywriter.
Absolutely.
You're going to need a manager. You're going to need a publicist. So at the end of the day, when you're going into the studio, you're just focused on music. You need a stylist. Willie, how many people out there need a stylist on call? I need Willie on call.
Then you can get headshots.
I've had Willie on call where I'm like, holy crap, I have to get these new headshots in. And I was going 90 miles a minute. And he's like, Leah, I got you.
Just meet me.
Meet me at the Gap.
We'll go. But to weigh in on that, it's extremely important to hire you a great stylist because what people don't realize is everyone is visual. Before they hear you, they see you. So you definitely want to have a marketable look. I'm not saying everyone has to be just this goddess or god, but you have to have something that's going to be appealing to people, no matter, what genre of music or what. Even I have successful real estate agents that I style for meetings. I dress them according to what client they're going to meet. And when you put together something that's very polished, a lot of times it sells you. So it's important to have a great stylist. I've had clients, one of my clients rehired me because, of course, his wife was styling him after they got married, and he noticed that his clientele dropped. Well, as a personal stylist, when you're styling a client for a meeting, normally my clients tell me who they're meeting. I research their clients that they're meeting with. I look at their Instagram, their pages, who they are. I find out their favorite colors, and I will dress my client to appeal to the people they're trying to get checks cut from.
Yes, the chase checks.
The chase check, William Young.
William Young said.
So that is what I do. And so if I find out that your client might have a certain watch that they like, chances are we'll go get that watch so it can become a conversation piece. And before you realize it, you guys have veered off into personal. It went into business, and now you have a new client.
Correct. And then from the music artist standpoint, do you find that a lot of musicians try to emulate their style from others that they have found to be successful rather than finding out what makes their own personal brand kind of pop? Like, how important is image?
I mean, I think they do that immediately with just jewelry. That's probably the first thing, because I have a shitload. So, but I understand, what the meaning for myself would be if I'm going to wear it. Right? I love to play cards. I got on, something that's part of my image. It's a part of myself. It's directive. It means, if you don't know, then you should.
Right.
Or you just don't know. You won't. But image is everything. That's going to create your bio for you. You don't really have to write it. You're going to create the narrative once again. Absolutely. Without even trying to. But like you said, with style and representation of like who you are for someone else, like you're going to connect with them without it being very difficult. That's where your team does come in, though. You like, should you wear that? Right? Why do you have it on? Is that part of your brand?
Have you guys ever
instead of someone else's?
Yeah. Have you ever felt that clients or people that you're working with don't necessarily trust the process, and you can see the long-term vision of your brand is going here? Like, you can see 30 miles down the road, right?
Yeah.
But they're telling you, I know what I like, or you know what I mean? Not really understanding you're trying to craft a public persona, so to speak. Willie's raising his hand like we're in class.
Like, I want to go. Absolutely. That is 85% of everyone I work with, they have this vision on what they want. Models, actors. I've had other people tell me, well, I know what's going to work for me, and I know this and I know that. And then when they finally just do what I say, they'll say, oh, my God, I can't believe that this is happening this way. It's speeding up. For example, I had one model, this little boy loved this little peach fuzz thing right here. And I kept saying, you need to shave that.
They're trying to
because
figure
it's
that
not
out.
marketing. It's not marketable.
Yeah.
And it just wouldn't register until one day he did exactly what I said, and he started getting booked. He noticed his bookings increasing. I even had a female model. We had to re-image her. She didn't want to cut her hair. And we were like, hey, get bangs. And she was like...
Not the bang.
She did it, and she did
The
her bangs,
bang.
and they worked. The bangs. So it has definitely... sometimes it can be combative, but then when they get too combative with me, a lot of times I'm like, you know what? I think you have it. Best of luck. Talk soon. And I just actually... I just... thank you. Or my thing with that is... second party, third party instructions. Whenever I tell a model or someone I'm working with what I need, what's going to happen and what they need to work on, they'll tell me what someone else has told them. Like, well, I was speaking to some friends and consulting with this person, and they were saying that I really don't need to. And I was like, well, why don't you call them?
You're the expert.
Yeah.
So listen to you.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what have you seen?
I think that it's just taking direction is the problem. No one wants to be told what to do, especially when they know it all.
Yeah.
If you know it all and it feels like it's really working for you, you don't want to change that because you've already started. No one wants to lose when they've already started. They just want to keep going, and that's cool. But if you take the direction from someone else that's on the outside looking in, then you can keep going. You can recreate the narrative as you go and not have to stress about do this, or like being told like, what is good for you when you already know, but you don't know everything.
Right. And it's all about progression at the end of the day.
That's going to create it.
We all want our brands and businesses to go to that next level, but we don't want to make the investment first of all, to go to the next level.
Absolutely.
We don't want to receive the feedback that's actually going to take us from A to Z because maybe that, we get offended in some sort of way, or I've always done it this way. And I know that in terms of everything that we're talking today as it pertains to image, like that's just something that is very personal to people. It hits a vulnerable state. But I'm seeing so many errors, specifically like with my clients where I'm like, no, we got to go back and reshoot new headshots because this is not in alignment with the message that we're trying to put out, especially in the public space. And once this picture gets out, oh, by the way, it's going everywhere. Like once it's out there, Google's going to grab it.
Don't hit send.
Yeah. And you don't want it to be that picture where you're like, why did Willie let me go out there looking a mess?
It's his fault.
That's the other thing too.
You have to think 30 miles ahead. You have to.
And that's the thing. They won't listen to me, but then when it gets out and it looks bad, I'm the first person that they blame. Like, why did you let this happen? No, you let this happen. Your girlfriend and your boyfriend that were giving you the advice that
both
they saw.
of them.
I won't let, when I was a personal shopper, I wouldn't let my clients let their husbands or girlfriends or kids or whoever come or be along with the trip. Like one time I had to specifically tell my client, look, if your mom was so great of a stylist, you wouldn't have hired me.
Absolutely. No.
You wouldn't
Why
look
are
like
you
a potato
here?
sack in this picture.
You are here
That is
for
my
a reason.
rule, too. That is my straight rule. If we're working together, photo shoots, shopping, anything like that, no one can come.
Because she wouldn't have your ass looking like that in them pants.
Yes.
But maybe she would.
Mama,
because that's her vision.
But bye.
Sometimes, I've had that happen. I did have one of my clients, he brought one of his friends with him that couldn't go anywhere. And the first thing, and I mean, me, I'm very blunt. You never have to wonder what I'm thinking. I just turned around and said, will you be seen and not heard?
Like him.
Will you be seen and not heard?
And they were like...
You have to have people sign something, Willie.
Yeah. I need that shirt.
Will you be
song
seen
right
and
now.
not heard? That's what we
He's
need to
going to
know.
put on a shirt.
Yes.
And I literally
And I'm going to
said,
make a contract out of it. When you
because
come through the building, will you be
seen and not heard? Because
let's make you great again.
if something is seen and heard, then chances are I'm going to tell you to leave where we are. Yeah. And I'm quick to do that, but like, you got to go. You get out of my way. That's just how I am.
Facts.
So, yeah.
I think one of the greatest themes has kind of arisen out of today, and we're going to move along to our PR petty, which is my favorite part of these episodes. But and we we can just comment a little bit about this. I think one of the things that has arisen in this time and time again, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a startup, you're a business owner, a brand, an influencer, a model, music, athlete, whatever, is knowing how to build the right team around you. Like, you cannot go to the next level
without a team.
But sometimes the people you have around you, and honestly, I was doing PR for a pre-NFL event with Danielle Surency Jones, and we had some former Dallas Cowboys players that were there. And who was the one that just got signed to Baltimore?
Des Bryant.
So Des was there. And people feel however they want to feel about Des, whatever. But I feel like we got to the most vulnerable side of him because he discussed like getting into the NFL and trying to take everybody that was with him, like
Fact.
Literally from childhood all the way through his career, and then having his close friend like literally take money from him. We're talking tens of thousands. He put him up in an apartment. He did all this stuff. And he was like, man, it just hurt me to my core. But he couldn't grow as long as he was taking all of that baggage along with him. And sometimes we don't really evaluate the people we have around us, because those are going to be the yes people that says, yeah, that looked good on social media, but your manager is telling you, no, girl, you should have been in X, Y, and Z, like, because this is the image right now. Yeah. So talk a little bit. I'll start with Jimmy and then Willie. Like, talk about network and the net worth.
We
can go all day.
Yes, all day long.
We really should go longer. I think we should go longer. Leah. We need an hour, Leah. We need an hour.
I'll invoice you, Willie.
Okay, we're about to leave.
Listen, network. Okay, so I mean, I want to talk about an album release party. No direction, but just networking. You know, in regards to music, anyways. If you're gonna, do parties, if you're gonna, network yourself, like, you have to be thinking about the consequences from it also. So that's why you PR yourself first. That's a plug.
No.
But you
pending trademark.
Yeah, but that's why you do that with direction, though. Like, you want something out of it rather than just the image. Like, the image is just gonna be there, and that's it. And then you can't recreate it because you're stuck on just that. So you have to have that team, like you said, of people who are not ready to take from you, but help you provide yourself also. The same thing with Des Bryant. First of all, shout out to Des Bryant. He worked real hard.
I watched him. Like, from that moment, I met his training coach.
Yeah.
D-Rob, always open on Instagram, met him, and just the amount of intensity and work. Like, a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, we're judging athletes, right?
Yeah.
He does, like, look, if you're looking for a publicist that'll help you with what you put out there, Des, from time to time, hit me up. But, like, he does speak his mind, and it gets him in trouble.
Yeah.
But with that same point, like, I did see another side of him where he truly had to learn the hard way about, look, I think TD Jakes calls it pruning season, where you have to prune. And it's like, sorry, you made it up this far, the mountain with me. Kind of got to let you go so I can get to this next level, because it's just, you can't escalate here with me. And you have to be okay with letting people go, with letting relationships go, with letting old mindsets go, where you're fearful of, I was taught how to do my money like this growing up, but this is actually how to create wealth. And I'm scared because I've never known how to do that before. I've never saved before. I've never invested before. I've never looked into real estate before. But you're going to have to let the people go that are okay with just being okay with not knowing those things, if that's the next level you want to go to.
Yes.
On period.
That you can't be content
with a T.
It's called you got to qualify your circle.
Yeah.
And I have seen that. I've been I've had so many things happen, and you have to realize the value of the people around you. It's not the size of your entourage, but it is the size of your entourage. And I saw it, and this person made a lot of sense. You compare a nickel and a dime. A nickel is twice the size, but half the value of a dime. So you have to understand who is in your circle and what value do y'all add to each other. Not just what they bring to you or what you bring to them, but what do y'all do for each other, And you have to really see stuff like that.
Yeah, you're gonna get organized. You have to get organized.
And I've had models that I've worked with and people that, they have great friends. And it's not to saying people are bad. It's just sometimes people cannot go where you're going. I mean, even if you go to an airport, when you get to a certain area, if they don't have this ticket, they can't go through them doors with you. They're going to have to watch you fly. So, it's just, you just got to look at it like that. So it's all about qualifying your circle. And I've had to go through that and look at my circle and look at what I'm doing and look at my net worth, who's adding value to me, who am I adding value to? Because sometimes you might be the person that's not adding value to someone you're with, and you might need to let them go so they can elevate.
Willie.
Facts.
Because I've had people in my life that I'm like, okay, I need to pull back from you because you're holding yourself back because you're too busy trying to look after me that you're not elevating. And my last major job, I will give them a shout out, Indigo 1745.
Hi,
Denise
Keith and Denise, my second parents. They're my second mommy and daddy.
She realized, she told me, she said, I feel like you're too loyal to us and you're not elevating with J3.
I can see her saying that.
So she said, I want you to elevate J3. And so she cut my hours, did everything possible until finally I said,
I witnessed the whole thing. And it was like, one day he'll fly the coop.
Yes.
One day he's just going to take this leap of faith.
Yes. So sometimes, show your friends that you love them by moving them out the way so they can grow, because you might have great friends in your life that are not growing because their growth is contingency upon them doing for you as opposed to them doing for themselves.
Facts.
Everybody can't go to the top. I have to lead some people.
Everybody can.
That's what Lil Baby said.
That's it. And then
he was
sometimes,
very serious about that.
And a lot of times, people aren't ready to go with you right now. Like, that doesn't mean they can't go. Like, sometimes you have to go make it, and then you can come back and get them. Because if you try to take everything at once, it's too much.
You won't
stay focused.
You're not ready for what's in store if someone else has a vision that you don't want to follow.
Absolutely.
Unless you're ready to follow it. You have to grow first, and then you can follow it. You're going to get somewhere then. But that's your team. You organize then. You get somewhere by paying attention more instead of just being distracted by what you see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's we'll have to have you back for a whole nother distractions episode and paying attention to what everybody else is out there doing. Where if you would have paid attention to what the hell you needed to do and focus on your own shit, you would have already been close to the finish line. But you're so worried about what this person's doing on social media and what this person's posting. And half of it is not true, and they're paying for it, and they're lying.
Yes.
Oh, I see the hearts going up on Willie Johnson's Instagram feed because y'all know that shit is true.
It is.
It's the truth.
It is the absolute truth. So next on PR Yourself, real true shit. Okay. But I do want to explain it like this. But a pastor kind of compared it to being on a mountain, right? And so I just remember when I went to Denver and played basketball, how the elevation was different. It was really hard to breathe. Like, we had to arrive days early to really train, and it really wasn't enough because we weren't used to that altitude. We're here in Texas. Then we went to Colorado and was playing basketball at an altitude that we weren't prepared for. Okay, so just take that same concept where God is taking you, or whatever higher source you believe in, is taking you up the mountain towards your goal and towards your purpose. You have been training for this all of your life, or you're training for this every day. You're being diligent. You're listening to my podcast. You're hiring Think 3 Media. You're hiring a Jimmy. You're hiring a Willie.
You're listening.
You're preparing yourself for elevation while maybe the people around you are not. So you're constantly climbing this mountain, and you're reaching new levels of altitude where you're training. You're in preparation. You can handle that altitude. There's going to be a certain point where you reach the mountain and they will not be able to breathe. Are you going to stay at that level with them
and suffocate with them?
Or are you going to keep going higher?
I'm going to handle my asthma pump and keep going.
Right. So sometimes you just have to leave people at a level where they can sustain, and you keep training so that you can go higher up that mountain.
I got you when I get there. If you can't come right now, I got
just
you
keep
later.
Training.
If you're still going to be here. It's your choice.
It's still meant.
Fate and free will. You spoke on God. So fate and free will, Bible gives you two choices.
Absolutely.
Fate is your destination. Free will is your predetermined destination. You decide. It's your choice.
Yep. And it's like every decision you make will either lead to destiny or destruction.
Right.
So you have to decide if you want to have a destiny or you want to destroy yourself.
Yeah.
When you're around certain folks, are they helping me with my destiny or are they destroying me?
Right. And so we've talked about so much. So anybody listening, we've talked about image, we've talked about your network, and we've talked about letting the shit go. Shout out to Susie Batiste with Poopery. We're gonna let some shit go, let some people go. But all of this, a lot of people don't think about this from a PR standpoint, and myself as a publicist, these are things that I have conversations with my clients with daily. PR is not always about TV, press, and radio. It's really about the whole brand as a whole. And there are certain things and certain people that you will have around you by the time you reach me that is not good for your brand, where it's like you are not PRable at this point because your look isn't together. Or you have some people in your circle where I'm telling you that this is what we need to do for you to go to X, Y, and Z, and they're going the exact opposite direction of me. And so I want to thank Willie and Jimmy for their nuggets. And before they go, I want to play Chick-fil-A nuggets. Yes, 12-pack. Okay. So I want to discuss, you guys are going to be, this is our PR Petty. This is my favorite part of my episodes where I let our guests play publicist for the day with a hot topic. So y'all can be co-publicists.
Okay.
So recently, I don't know if any of you guys are a big fan of Hillsong. I know I am. So when they come to concert, Christian group, they have a bunch of churches around the U.S., actually globally. So recently, Hillsong announced, and I don't know if it was via a press release or however they did it, but it was through the press, that they had fired one of their pastors. His name was Carl Lentz. Because he was unfaithful to his wife. So they pretty much just fired him. And so there was two different sides of the coins where it was, okay, you're a church, so if we're preaching that people should have second chances, then maybe y'all should have worked with him behind the scenes, given his whatever was going on, him being unfaithful to his wife, whatever, maybe demoted him silently. But that did not have to be a PR move on behalf of Hillsong. That actually backfired and made y'all look bad because it didn't look Christian. But then there was other people that was like, okay, well, we needed to know these things because we can't have somebody on the pulpit that's living life another way and then projecting something else out in the forefront. So playing a publicist on behalf of Hillsong, what was this a good PR move or not? And what would you guys have done differently? Let's start with Jimmy and then we'll go to Willie.
You see my brain running like...
Okay, let's go to Willie.
Mine is going crazy.
No, I'm ready though.
Okay, go Jimmy.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I'm born for this shit. Okay, so, I feel like it was a good move.
Really?
Yeah. You know why? Because it was PR. They decided to do it, but it was PR. So when you got to remember, when you involve people in your business, they become your business. So you got to expect the backlash. They had to expect it. Somebody's smart enough.
But was it our business to begin with? Was this something for the press?
Well, separation of church and state says that it is, because there is no separation. So people are gonna know regardless. The problem is
that's true. So they were trying to get think they were trying to get in front of it.
Somebody's gonna say something
unless
to somebody.
It was somebody at the church, allegedly, because we don't know.
Yeah. Well,
we don't know.
I mean, you got to PR yourself.
PR yourself.
Second, but I think that because they put it out there, that they addressed the issue the way that they wanted to. Now, the problem is, like we said, if you need help, you need to ask for it beforehand. Get a second opinion if you have a PR like that in the first place. You're representing more than just your brand at that point. You're representing your community, people that are coming to your church. And then this guy, you could have probably ruined his career. So it's a good PR move and a bad PR move for the both of them, especially Hillsong though, because you have this pedestal already though.
Done it.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. And
because
I just
they can
read
move on from him.
That they fired his wife too.
Yeah, see, that's the petty part. This is why this is petty, because she didn't have anything to do with it, but she did because they're generally related. All right. But when you involve people in your business, it shouldn't have been anybody's business in the first place. I'm sure the wife knew about it.
But you think that
Maybe.
It was a good move because they were actually getting ahead of the public finding out. So it's like, let's just go ahead and put this on out here.
As a business, I study financial consulting. Like you're gonna make sense of what you're trying to do financially, because that's what's gonna matter the most. They're a business. Every church is a business.
That's true.
No matter what. So you're already not getting very much business right now as it is because of COVID. So you need something. I think it was a good move for him.
Oh my God. I didn't. I've never heard that angle. This whole time, this whole thing's been going on.
Use COVID as the excuse.
I haven't heard people saying that was a move to bring them attention because, well, that's very smart.
Authenticity matters. If that's the way they want to authenticate themselves,
well,
it's your choice. But he talked about decisions.
All right, Willie.
I agree.
Tag team in.
I am. To me, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Like I think
Definitely.
they brought it to the forefront because in case it got out, that way the public would, because if the public found out,
Try to handle it.
unbeknownst to them, then that's when all the crazy opinions start formulating. But on another note, I do think in a way they should have kept everything private, got him some counseling, some help, and then once everything was solved and rectified, then you bring it to the public and say, hey, I had this problem. But this is when you can brag on God's deliverance. This is when you can say, I smeared God's name on this problem, and now I'm here. So I want y'all to know what God has done for me, not everything is wrong, and people are like looking up to you because what we all forget is no matter who you serve, being a Christian or whatever you are, you're still human, and you still have all of those things that's wrong with you. We're all born of a sinful nature.
Not perfect.
We're not perfect, and what society has to stop doing is worshiping man and realizing that God is over us. Yeah. So that's how I look at that. Like, I think they should have got him some help, got it all together, got it resolved, and then they talked about it later on. Like, for example,
playing devil's advocate is that I don't feel like all the information is out there. Mm-hmm. So they were rushing to get ahead of something, and I'm pretty sure the next couple of weeks something may come out. And I don't want to speculate because my attorney brain is kicking in, and I don't want to get popped. But maybe there's something else out there.
You never know.
Leave it to your imagination.
It could have been something else because it's like
something else.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
There may be something else.
It might be something else.
But see, now him and his wife, if she's still going to be around their team, they're going to have to figure out how to redirect their narrative.
But see, if I were publicist for the husband and wife team, I'd be like, go get your counseling, and I need you to document, because, honey, this is going to be a book, and it's going to be a New York Times bestseller.
Shout out to Kobe.
How Hillsong let you go.
Right.
And how
he pulled it off.
Because there's like, I've met a lot of other people that have gone through that. Like, I was reading Michael Todd's relationship scope.
I have that. It's so good.
If you pay attention to him, he will talk about how him and his wife had a rocky marriage at one point.
For 10 years.
It wasn't in the public eye. Once they got it all resolved, that's when they talked about it.
About it.
You don't invite people into your problems. You wait until everything, you don't really invite people into I don't invite people into my problems.
Well, again, just kind of going back to, there's some other things that we may or may not know. So they had to do this rush job. Yeah. This is, unfortunately, this is the way it's perceived. So I feel like now Hillsong's communications and PR team may be on crisis management overload.
And they wouldn't have had to do that if they had the help already.
Right. Yep. But again, shout out to Pastor Carl. Like, I really think you have something here once you get yourself together.
You fired him, though.
Because no one is perfect, and everybody loves a great redemption story.
Yeah.
So I would say if I were their publicist, it may not even be right now, it may be 5 or 10 years down the road, but I need you to document every single process, whether that's journaling, your wife's journaling, go to counseling, and then everybody's going to love your comeback story. Like, that's going to be what is going to help you survive.
And even as far as a comeback story, like, a lot of times what we don't realize is when we do serve and we surrender, a lot of times we're put in these situations because he might be, or his wife might be in a situation where they have to witness to people whose marriages are in trouble due to infidelity.
And it's like, I've been there.
You can't heal a person if you've never been sick.
Yeah, you've never been there.
Oh, that's so good, Willie.
You can't do that. So sometimes you go through it and be like, okay, well, this is what happened to us. This is how we got over this.
There's just some things I don't want to have to go through to heal the sick.
Who you telling? Sometimes I'm just going to look at what happened to you. I just okay, I ain't gonna do that.
Your bad.
I want to be
no.
illness free.
We don't want to do that.
I don't want to go there.
You can't. A lot of times people don't realize you
have
can't
a choice.
Do stuff if you've never experienced it, because it's like, even me managing people, you have to have a level of empathy when you deal with so many different personalities. And on their level in the spiritual realm, in order sometimes to witness and help people out, you go through things first before you can elevate and talk to them. You can't explain God's goodness if you haven't been in a dilemma.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to go through it.
Well, this has been so much more than I bargained for with these two handsome gentlemen. And they both have amazing hair. So shout out to the natural hair. We got the locks.
Hold up.
Willie's got that curly stuff. So shout out to Willie Johnson.
My barber. He be hooking me up. Barbara Nardi.
Shout out to Barbara Nardi. Check out his episode on PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. And thank you guys for tuning in. That is a terrible angle, Jimmy.
There you go.
They have to know your angles. Yeah. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. So many nuggets were dropped. We're definitely going to have these two guys back. Thanks to everybody tuning in on Instagram Live. You can follow us at PR Yourself Podcast. This is season 2. And I'm so excited. If you guys have any topics that you want us to explore that will help your business or your brand, it doesn't necessarily have to be public relations related. I am a publicist, so I can spin everything. So send it in. I will bring in the experts to address exactly what you need to take your business or your brand to the next level. Send those suggestions to me, Leah at think3media.com, or you can follow me on social media at the Leah Frazier and send me a DM and we'll get you all hooked up. All right. Well, thanks you guys for tuning in. Where can they follow you, Jimmy?
Come on, Jimmy.
Facebook, you will not reach me. I am live right now, but you will not reach me. I've been getting hell all year. But listen, you want to follow me, reach me on Instagram at Butters with a Z, BUTTERZ_island. That's it.
Yeah. No man is an island.
That's
though.
it.
He has a great network.
That's it.
And then the Willie Johnson, my manager, the man that makes me look good, which, by the way, Jimmy says the photo that I took, my new headshots with the blazer, he says it's savage. A look.
That's a whole
LEWK.
Yeah, got to keep that.
Willie styled me. So where can they find you?
Well, you can always find me on Instagram. I am on Instagram. It is Willie Johnson 3, WILLIE JOHNSON 3, or my management page, which is J3 Productions _.
Yes, and for any of you guys out there, you don't have to be a model, you don't have to be a musician, you don't have to be an influencer, you don't have to be any of those things. But if you are looking to PR yourself image-wise, please reach out to Willie Johnson, because one of the things that I love about him, Jimmy's kind of the same way too, is that they tell me when I'm a mess. But I need that, because when those photos come out, they are fire, y'all. So shout out to Kawan Burton and Willie Johnson on the styling team. You're going to want to have the whole look together, because your look translates to money. If you look a mess, nobody's writing that check. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much. PR Yourself with Leah Frazier, and we're out.